Greetings, fellow Whovians, and welcome to Timey Wimey Review, where today I'm going to be talking about a bit of a bizarre story, news development, which is forever changing and forever updating, but it's been sort of sparking a little bit more, or at least it's growing a bit of a wildfire now at this moment in time. And it's all to do with the first 4 episodes of Doctor Who back in 1963, entitled An Unearthly Child. This story has been credited as written by Anthony Coburn, who, when he died, passed on his rights and ownerships to his son, Steph Coburn. And Steph has been going on Twitter quite a lot recently, coincidentally over the 60th anniversary as well, that he's claiming basically that the BBC do not have the rights to this particular story and the name TARDIS itself. And obviously, with this recent announcement of the classic Doctor Who episodes being put onto BBC iPlayer for the very first time, they're making more of a sort of a fuss that this could potentially stop this from being streamed onto that platform. Steph Coburn recently tweeted on X or Twitter, this was a few days ago, saying, "Since my inheritance of Tony's IP in August of 2013, I have repeatedly given the BBC opportunity to deal fairly, which they have consistently declined to do so. As the matters stand, they will never again have the rights to distribute Tony's episodes. They only have themselves to blame." So that could potentially put a spanner in the works for An Unearthly Child to be put on BBC iPlayer when all the classic episodes will be uploaded on there on the 1st of November. As it stands, nothing has happened. The BBC hasn't said anything. I know several sources have asked for comment from the BBC at this time, and they've not replied and not answered. And I've checked out BritBox via the ITV subscription, premium subscription service, which has all the classic episodes of Doctor Who at the moment. Well, ones that are available. And I put it on An Unearthly Child, and I had no issues whatsoever. It hasn't been removed or anything like that. It's been a bizarre story that keeps sort of developing over the last few hours, and it's not the first time that Steph Coburn has tried to do this before, saying that his father owns the right to the name TARDIS and they shouldn't be using this on Doctor Who. Coincidentally, doing that over the show's 50th anniversary as well, which is, again, it's all sort of like, hearsay and everything else. There's been rumors or statements that Anthony Coburn didn't write much of this actual story, that the director Waris Hussein and Verity Lambert, they put more input into the Unearthly Child rather than Mr. Coburn himself. So there's a lot of things going off on there, and obviously I'm not judging or anything like that, but Steph Coburn, from his recent tweets, is not a very nice sounding man with things like that. He has put on there that he has no quarrel with the Doctor Who fans or any of the Whovians, and wants them to watch An Unearthly Child however they can get it. So yeah, he's happy for it to be on a physical sort of DVD by the sounds of things, or on video or on Blu-ray, but not on the BBC's streaming service, even though the BBC would probably be selling these DVDs or Blu-rays. So yeah, it's all very messy. And I'm not a legal expert at all, but I do find this story quite fascinating, and slightly annoyed that he wants basically this not to be on the BBC iPlayer, or the BBC to have its hands on it, which is going to be a shame because, especially celebrating 60 years of Doctor Who. And obviously, I'm really excited by that announcement that the BBC are going to be putting all the classic episodes on BBC iPlayer for the first time. And you want to start from the beginning, and this could actually potentially not happen. So you jump straight into the Daleks, but that's not fair. Everyone should have a right to watch this show, and obviously preserve that cultural status that is Doctor Who, and particularly that very first episode and that very first story, An Unearthly Child. It sounds to me this whole sort of debacle is very different to, say, Terry Nation, who created the Daleks, where the BBC have to have permission from the Terry Nation estate to use the Daleks in Doctor Who because he created the monster. He owns the rights to that particular monster or the Terry Nation estate. This is different to Anthony Coburn, who was an employee of the BBC, and basically, he was paid to write stories, so he doesn't necessarily owns the right to that particular story or the name TARDIS. And again, it's been disputed that Verity Lambert, the very first producer of Doctor Who, came up with the name of TARDIS. I don't think the BBC will be quaking in their boots yet, because considering this has been going on for 10 years, as according to Steph Coburn, with the rights to the name of TARDIS, yeah, nothing's come about of that, and that's all owned by the BBC. And I think this will be the same for An Unearthly Child. It could be just a wildfire that's spreading because it's the show's 60th anniversary. He's probably kicking up a bit of a fuss again to try and get momentum of this rights and ownership, which, by the sounds of things, don't think he owns that much of it. I think it's all sort of under lock and key with the BBC. Again, I'm no legal expert, but if anyone knows, let me know in the comments, because, like I said, I'm quite fascinated by this story, but I don't want it to affect the fans at all. I don't want it to affect Whovians who gets the opportunity to enjoy An Unearthly Child. I hope it does go on to BBC iPlayer when it uploads all the classic episodes on the 1st of November, and I'm sure it will. It's going to have some fairly big ground to halt that particular episode or particular story to be uploaded on the 1st of November. And obviously you can get it on BBC on DVD. Yeah, again, there was weird rumors that that's being fetched up for £500 on eBay. I don't think that's the case. But yeah, let me know in the comments below your thoughts to this story, and it's ever changing. Obviously, I will update you as much as I can if anything else does happen with this story. It could be one of those things that's sort of there 1 minute and goes away at the next, and the world just keeps on turning, which I think is going to happen. And yeah, I don't want it to affect any opportunities for Unearthly Child to be uploaded on BBC iPlayer in the 1st of November. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's quite a bizarre story. It's something that I've not really covered before, so I do apologise if I've been waffling a little bit in this video, but I will try and keep up to date with this story as it develops and share it all with you, my fellow Whovians. But if you have enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. Hit the cloister bell for more notifications. Come say hello and follow me on Facebook and X and also TikTok. And do check out my other fantastic Doctor Who related content right here on the Timey Wimey Review YouTube channel. And as the good doctor once said, people spend all their time making nice things and then other people come along and break them.